So have you got the chance? Have you been watching any of this series by chance,
I
or
have
you're just
not.
tuning in? Okay.
Moonduck is working on some cool inner stuff that we're gonna be launching up in a couple of days. So I have just been swarmed with projects. I have not actually caught any Dota games. I heard there was like a 100-minute one yesterday or something, but that's about it for all I know.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to watch much yesterday, but again, like I said, I've been watching pretty much since the beginning today, and having some fun here. This series specifically, so we're obviously in Game 3. F5 pretty much controlled the first game, and then Empire came back in the second game and won that one. So thus we got the Game 3 here, trying to move on to the finals. All right, so we got this one here. We got the lineups. Already something interesting I'm noticing on the side of F5. The good old Treant Protector coming out. Now, they played this in their previous series against, it was 8K Squad was her name. They had PyCat and a couple other players. They played Treant Protector in that matchup, so I guess this is a hero that they maybe have ran before, even today.
30
but
seconds to battle.
what do you think about Treant Protector? How do you think the hero works?
Well, usually he works by hitting E a whole lot, and then no towers go down. That's my hardcore analysis there. No, but really, he's one of my favorite to play in pubs. He's just not picked up in the competitive scene, though, because his role is so niche. Like, it's awesome if you're going against a strat that pushes towers really quickly but can never really finish the job, and then you can heal up the towers. Or if you have, some sort of risky kamikaze mid that you just want that living armor to be able to go heal. Or if you're playing, like, the long game vision strat, his Ags is kind of absurd, just because, of course, the Eyes in the Forest means you get to have infinity wards all over the place. But yeah, he's not picked up a whole lot, but I think he definitely is deserving of it.
Wait, so the Ags gives him that ability back, basically?
Ags, if he has Ags, he gains another ability, his D ability, which allows him to convert any tree into a ward, and also his ultimate, the Roots, will pop up on any heroes standing in range of that ward globally.
Huh.
It's really fucking strong.
Yeah, that sounds yeah, I say that I brought it back because that's what I remember of Nature, or Treant Protector even. The old school Treant Protector did have that as a normal ability, at least warding the trees in itself. So that's kind of cool that they still kept it around just as an axe instead, and even with the added modifier to it. So, bottom lane, by the way. Sand King, he's in a little bit of trouble, but
He's fine. Look at that. I can't do anything to him. Treant Protector's base damage at the beginning of the game is the highest, I believe. I think it's like 90-something. It's dumb. It's really, really dumb.
okay.
So he can basically go up. He's a really great lane bully. His HP and armor aren't fantastic, but, if you're going against a sniper or, someone squishy, even like that Wisp, you can just basically punch them 3-4 times and they're dead. Right, level 1.
Got it. Oh, middle lane, by the way. Tiny going in on a Phantom Assassin. Apply some harassment right here, but he's good. So, yeah, I mean, this overall lineups are kind of just absorbing this more and more now. We see the Tiny Wisp combo coming out from Empire. This is kind of something that's not seen that much nowadays, I feel like, at least in these couple of events post-TI6 that we've had. But Empire running it here. Do you think it's still kind of a strong combination? And are you surprised that maybe we haven't seen it as much, or is it not surprising?
I mean, it's a staple, and I think it's, it's always going to be a thing. Like, when you think Wisp, you got to consider Tiny as one of those partners. But it's a really weird way, not weird way, it's one of two ways you can run the Wisp. You can either run him as the dedicated babysitter, he never leaves Tiny's side, and that's really why you pick up IO Tiny, is because it's basically two heroes that form into one really strong hero.
Yeah.
There's also been a lot of kind of position 4 Wisp recently that I've seen, especially in the CIS scene, where Wisp is kind of played as that free agent, that ambulance that just goes into team fights that are going kind of awry and lays out heals on all sorts of different people. Like, he can help out supports, he can go on warding missions, so you really get that free agent Wisp, and that's a little bit more in favor right now. So you're not seeing a whole lot of the Tiny Wisp just because it feels like such a huge investment for basically one core.
Yeah. I'm making some adjustments here on my side. I'm just trying to turn it up a little bit. I think you're a little bit low, so there we go. That should be better. All right, cool. Yeah, we have seen some Wisp and other hero combinations that has also been, powerful. But this seems like this is the go-to, the Wisp Tiny combo. It's kind of classic in a sense. We've seen it for so long, obviously, coming out. They're going up against a PA here who, one of many heroes that has received some changes, pretty much nerfs lately. But that was more for the support PA rather than the hard-hitting carry PA, I guess. And, going to be someone once again right here, but I think should be fine. Yeah, not enough mana for a toss there. But he's good.
Nah, she's got that point in blur, so just the raw evasion. It's not the strongest at level 1, but just being able to go in there and dodge 1 or 2 hits or just 1 or 2 spirit connects is super, super crucial for her. So I like the leveling there from that PI.
Again, it's kind of tempting fate, it almost feels like, but obviously keeping an eye on that mana pool of Tiny. Knows that he's confident that they're not going to be able to combo him down. There are other lanes in this game. Let's take a look and see how other things are going on. I guess the top and bottom's not really the most entertaining. Juggernaut just free farming here at the top lane, and then you got wait, Vengeful Spirit farming. Okay, so that's something that's to talk about there.
Oh, dude, it's F5. Of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see them run Venge any other way. I got to put on my cam. I have the other broadcaster. I'm just like stealing their in-game camera, but it's unfortunately not the best here. We got some edge panning going on.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it's all right. The opens are an amazing time for amateur casters just to get in there and do as much Dota as they can. I think every caster that I've worked with in the past couple of months, especially like in the amateur scene, has done that. You just use opens as a way to keep your stream up, just get that casting practice going. So. No hate. No hate
that's
on
what
them
I'm
for
doing.
not having professional skills.
That's what I'm doing right here, taking advantage of these
dude.
qualifiers.
It's legit, man.
We're having some fun with it. It's fun with stuff. That's why I was like kind of extra excited for these, like, because I know there's a lot of matches that maybe that aren't being covered for obvious reasons because the earlier rounds and stuff, and just so much coverage going on in general. But hey, I'll gladly pick up the slack on certain matches here. So yeah, I was a little surprised. There's not really any quote unquote official English broadcast going on.
No, opens are free-for-alls. The regionals are divided up. Valve assigns all the tier 1, tier 2 casters to certain Dota TV games, so they make sure that they have professional tier audio for all of them, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
It's a huge endeavor, but starting on the 27th, all in-game Dota matches will have actual casting coverage.
Middle lane, stun happening. Phantom Assassin, the toss coming out, you feel like, but he's trying to get position. No, ain't going to happen, though. Warlock being nearby will thwart that off. Not going to be worth it at that point. So this PA, man, again, just continue to live life on the edge, it feels like, but still no first blood at 5.5 minutes right here. What's going on down here? We got some Darude going on by Sand King, but he's just trying to harass a little bit.
This is what Sand King wants to do. He just wants to go Sandstorm in the middle of this pit, so if Illidan times anything just a little bit wrong, any sort of last hits, he just soaks up the farm for now. Now, Illidan's going to be in a little trouble here. She doesn't have her stun, and they're going to be bringing in the Wisp. The Spirits might be enough, going to close those in. There is going to be that point-blank stun coming in onto Miposhka, but it's not going to be enough there. First blood coming out for the Wisp, and now over here near the Rune, there was a little more blood going down. TP attempt out from King R. They don't got anything to break in. It looks like King R will be getting out safely.
Illidan, man, that seemed a little ballsy right there. I don't know about you, but I feel like he could have kept running, and he would have been fine.
I think your flaw in that statement is assuming that Illidan isn't just the most confident motherfucker in the whole world.
He's a yellow artist? All right. I guess
he's just amazing. His he plays a really nice carry Venge, like of course we're seeing that now, but my favorite is his Chaos Knight. Compared that, he usually gets it with the Wisp. Oh boy.
He played it earlier. He actually played that in game 1 of the series, yeah.
Oh my, I missed that, dude. How was it? Was it beautiful?
They didn't pair it with the Wisp, but it was beautiful. Now that's definitely one of the reasons why it was a final pick Chaos Knight, and that's probably the reason why they won. The Phantasm, I mean, it's just insane. The rips, pulling them in constantly, and just the damage output was pretty ridiculous. So, yeah, he's a fun hero to watch in general. But yeah, I know Illidan's been around the block for a while. I remember just watching in the earlier TIs. I think he played for teams like Virtus Pro, I want to say, and maybe some others out there. But
oh yeah, he's been crawling around the CIS scene for years and years. He's super strong. One of the better carries in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now. All right, I'm clicking around. Sorry, I'm actually trying to do like 8 different things right now. This game's actually shaping up to be really good. I like the lineups here. The only thing I'm worried about is F5 not having a real late game core. Like, yeah, PA can be scary, but she's so easily focused once there's an MKB or two. I think if Empire can drag this post 38 minutes, they got this.
It's pretty exact timing right there.
I was going to say like 35, but then of course the PA can still do some stupid crits and keep herself back in. But I think the combination of a Juggernaut who's farming really effectively in the off lane and a tiny Wisp that's only going to get strong, even though she's being harassed back by the PA, I think is just probably too much to deal with. Now swap back into the magic missile. Nice little avalanche there. Looks like G just going to try to TP out. And they know they've got nothing else in the tank. That's a tiny free escape. Sure, he has to go back and miss out on some farm, but that is a nice little maneuver there. Knowing that the swap and stun are the only things that are going to cancel TP.
Yeah, good heads up on his part, but gotta say a little bit of a misplay. I feel like Illidan could have really held on to that swap a little bit longer as soon as PA went in. I mean, he used it immediately. Almost kind of screwed up PA's follow-up damage rather than using it as like if he was trying to escape, then you pull him back in. But, you know, whether or not that would have been the difference maker, very possibly not still. But, yeah, he gets away and 1-0 kill. I want to go back to PA real quickly. How do you pronounce the ability of PA, the ultimate?
Coup de grace.
Coup de grace? Okay.
Coup de grace. I mean, that's how I say it. I am, like, technically half French, so I want to think that gives me any edge. Of course, I've never spoken French in my life. But, yeah.
Right. Well, see, I say coup de grace. Because I'm American.
It's definitely not that. That much I can tell you.
I mean, it's the American way, I feel like. I feel like this coup de grace is just trying to be fancy and all. I just like coup de grace.
All right, man. Coup de grace it is. Let's stick with that.
I can't be the only one that's ever said that. I mean, somebody else has said
that. Just be prepared to get a new hole from Twitch chat, dude. If you do that in a professional cast, they are not happy.
Yeah. What do they know? Oh.
All right, so we got some bullshit going on the top rune here. Daggers here. Maposhka getting focused down. Of course, the ambulance can't keep her alive forever. Nice little strike in. The Phantom Strike connects. There is going to be a lift onto the Omni Knight, but it's healed up with the living armor. There we go. G going back in. Got those reset cooldowns in 3 more seconds. Avalanche. He could try to turn this depending on if the PA continues to chase. BZZ going back in. Will get stunned up. Has the Phantom Strike. They need the uphill vision, though. There we go. Can they connect onto G? Running through the woods now, getting that low ground. Crawling out into that tier 2 tower. Going to get the pings, and it looks like that's going to be a dead Tiny. There we go. Easy Dagger. And they're actually feeding the kill to Illidan, so getting him a little bit more beefed up towards that mid game.
Not done just yet, though. Sand King running in, hits that Burrow strike, and the Wisp with those, the W right there. The Spirit's flying around, actually doing more damage to Illidan. He's going to try to pick up the Invis. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. It ain't enough. You see the Caustic Finale also assisting. Sand King secures that kill right there. So at least they get something out of it, taking out the Vengeful Spirit. Where did Triumph die, actually? Oh, he died in the middle over here.
He does a lot. Like, that's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, I guess so.
His job is basically get living armor on the most important person or structure in the fight, and if that's not him, he dies a lot.
Yeah. Is living armor necessarily the most powerful tool this game? I mean, obviously, you look at this Dire's side, and it's very magic heavy.
Oh, Warlock. He's in some trouble here. He's only level 5, and he really needs that ulti here. If he can actually stick around and soak up XP from some kills that happen around him, it could be great. If he picks up level 6 here, well, that's going to be fancy. He's still got a little ways to go, just about 2/3 there towards that next level. But nice little heal from the Omni. Unfortunately, his corpse does not live long enough to hit the ground, and things are starting to go downhill. They get 2 kills. Tiny and Wisp are dead, and BZZ, with another dagger, able to finish off the Juggernaut there. Now, Epicenter from Ghostic. Not so sure about that one there. Had the Burrow Strike available, but didn't actually close the gap there. Just kind of slapped his tail around. Now, King R going to be in some trouble. Finished off by Illidan's missile. And this means Illidan's getting a lot out of this fight. Ghostic not going to be too sneaky with the Sentry Ward right there. Sand King crawling his bug ass back to the tier 1 tower, but will not make it.
That ain't going to happen, and then we could be seeing more Miposhka. Maybe Dutchka. He sticks the stun right there, and yeah, he will be killed. So Vengeful Spirit assisting with the stun, and PA actually getting credit for the kill. That TP is going to be canceled meanwhile. So turnaround. I mean, that was something, though. The Warlock living off the bat as he did. That was all because of the Omni Knight there with the Repel and the Purification heal coming out. So you mentioned he's almost level 6. He is level 6 now, but yeah, if he could have hit that during that fight, that could have just been devastation for Empire. But at least they got the kill, so they did. Granted, they still lost the 2. Obviously, when it was all said and done, and the chart suggesting that this is actually a fairly even game. So, how about Vengeful Spirit? Again, I know that this is a thing in the Dota 2 competitive scene, and I guess maybe F5 specifically known for doing it. But what does a Vengeful Spirit core bring? I feel like as a support, she kind of brings the similar stuff, anyways. Why is a core?
She benefits really heavily from agi items. She scales up pretty nicely just in terms of her overall stats gain. She's had that built-in stun. It's really low cooldown, and her mana pool is just a little bit more sustainable. You think of heroes like a Sven, who, yeah, they're strong and they're great, and they have that point-click stun, but he gets like 1 stun, maybe 2, and his mana's gone. Venge is much more agile, she's got the swap, she's got positioning tools. When she picks up the Dragon Lance, her overall stats get well. She doesn't carry great ultra late. She's good if you kind of need that utility dominating presence in the first 25-ish minutes, but after that, it's tough. You really got to have that backup core, like a bristleback or something that's been scaling up nicely throughout the whole game, but hasn't really drawn that spotlight yet. But I'm not quite seeing what F5 are thinking of here. I think there's a lot of weight on that PA's shoulders.
Well, they got the enhanced damage that obviously Vengeful Spirit will bring as well with that W of hers, the Wave of Terror, appropriately called. And then in the aura as well, the Vengeance aura as well. So PA going to be enhancing her damage quite a bit, no doubt. Sand King, that's a trap right there. He's walking on the uphill, and sometimes you just don't want to do that. So walks into a trap, he gets killed. That's an easy tower kill. As a result, so 9-5 lead for F5 right here. I mean, hero kill wise, they're looking good, but Tree Protector, he's caught. He does have the overgrowth. Can he get it off maybe for turn kills? No, he's not going to use it. He just runs, actually.
They drop the rock, though. They are able to get off the Chaotic Offering, and I feel like Warlock here, Yol didn't have that point in Upheaval. I feel if he was able to go and channel that, if he put one less point in that Fatal Bonds, may have had some sort of catch there, but most Warlocks wait until near the end to channel up that Upheaval. There are a couple exceptions of people that, max out Upheaval before they even grab a point in Fatal Bonds.
I've seen that, yeah.
It's quirky. It's definitely not popular, but if it actually works out, it is nuts. So the enemy team just can't move. It's like they're trying to walk in molasses.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, if it lands, it's huge. But landing it, maybe not necessarily the easiest. Yeah, from my experience, we've seen a lot of Warlock today, actually. In fact, I want to say every game, I feel like we've seen a Warlock today. I don't know if that's just kind of a flavor thing kind of popping up out of nowhere, but he's been seen us support a lot today, especially. Illidan bottom lane, he's probably dead right here. There's the combo, the nice Burrow Strike right after the stun finishes from Tiny, but oh my god, Vengeful Spirit, he's actually going to live.
Dude, that's living armor there. It's level 4 right now, and that can go ahead and block 7 shots of damage. So without giving up any of its healing properties, it can just tank through 7 hits. And again, F5 staying really calm and collected in these situations. We saw it from the PA in the mid. We saw it from the Venge. Once Empire go in and blow their stuns, there's really nothing to stop a TP. There's nothing sleeping that's going to do enough damage to cut through that.
Living armor is absurd. That's ridiculous he lived right there.
Dude, Treant's great. The problem is he's so niche. Like, in most games, he's like, all right, my team has some heals, but we're fighting 4v5. It kind of comes down to, are you going to put that heal above having another team fighter really participating? Because his ult's great. And Leech Seed's neat for lanes, but he just doesn't bring as much to a fight as, typical position 4 or 5 supports.
Yeah. That overgrowth, looking at 3-second lockdown right now if we can get a good one off right here. So see if that opportunity comes up. They try to make a plan to Juggernaut, but he gets back and he's going to be fine. Speaking of Juggernaut, by the way, really haven't talked too much about Aloha Dance here, but he's got the Yasha.
Scary right now.
Looking good, yeah.
Similar to Morphling, like a free farm Jug is so easily overlooked. It's like, all right, he's not getting kills now. People kind of think of him as a little bit flimsy, a little bit easy to lock down, but his stats gain is stupid here, and once he actually comes out of that top lane, once he's like, all right, farming's done, time for blood, he is going to destroy F5, because their heroes, although able to put out a lot of damage, are all relatively squishy.
I was looking at this earlier. There was a Juggernaut earlier in a game against an Omni Knight at least, but even more so this game, it feels like you got the living armors we just saw. Diffusal Blade is a natural build really for a Juggernaut, but it usually comes after the Manta style. Now, could you argue that he should get it before the Manta here because of the potential of it, or is it just still not worth getting before?
I think Aloha Dance is far enough ahead at this point that he can actually go ahead and finish his Manta and get a Diffusal and still have it be really well timed. It's not going to feel like he's behind in items or not doing enough. I think if he just keeps getting the space he's getting, because he really has not been challenged. He has that one death from lane, but aside from that, he's just been up here in terms of overall last hits. He's top of the chart by an incredible margin, like almost doubling up the Venge's last hits.
Yeah.
So he should be able to finish up his Manta in the next 4-ish minutes. He's almost got enough for the ultimate orb and needs that recipe. And then it's Diffusal time. I think he shouldn't stop along the way. Just get that Manta up, because that's going to mean his team fight just goes up super fast.
Yeah. Well, and then once it gets to Diffusal especially, that's going to be huge in these team fights, no doubt. But speaking of team fights, we're not seeing that right now. You see the middle lane. It's going to be a free tower kill in favor of F5. The Tree and Protector going around with that Nature's Skies, just being the invis hero that he can be. And looking to be the support, providing that living armor. Meanwhile, so What's up here? We got Rubik. Haven't really seen too much of him this game. Is there an ability that he's looking to snipe here, you think? I guess the Overgrowth would be good. I mean, the Rock, of course, always great. Is there something else?
I mean, I think at this point, Rubik is just, oh, there he goes. He goes and picks up the Wave of Terror. Not the best. It is good for scouting. You know, obviously you want those really high-value things like the Overgrowth, like the Chaotic Offering, like the Guardian Angel, but honestly, you're really content if you can snap up the Vengeful Spirit stun, because just think about what that brings to a team fight. Just being like, all right, we don't want you. Sit still for like 4 seconds, and we'll deal with you in a little bit. So just having Rubik with a point-click stun is pretty neat. Now up top, Aloha Dance, again, still free farming up. Looks like he's going to try to get this tower. Will be denied. Now, there's nothing really to stop Aloha Dance from just doing this over and over again until F5 rotate adequate resources, and then Empire gets a chance to push as this tiny Wisp wad, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Using Aloha Dance to push out, make space when there's rotations in, other half of the map pushes. And we talked about Empire's strat to just kind of take this as late as possible, and even though they're losing towers and objectives mid, they're just letting it happen. They're not initiating before they're ready, and that's really going to pay out for Empire in the end.
Yeah, we also saw the relocate. Speaking of that Wisp tiny combo, they relocated middle, picked off Vengeful as he was trying to just solo push that middle tower and getting a little bit greedy, trying to kill it right there. So he gets killed. I believe the tower was denied. No, he actually did get the tower kill. Okay, so a little bit of a positive there for the Vengeful, but still dying in the process. Definitely not what you want to be doing there. So there's the Manta finished on Juggernaut. Meanwhile, and now approaching the 18-minute mark. I mean, the net worth actually suggests that this is back to being a pretty even game. So despite Juggernauts, really lead here as far as individually, overall it's pretty back and forth according to that. I guess Tiny, where's Tiny at? Tiny's 4th in the game right now. And then it kind of drops off after that. So, the Vengeful and the PA are the ones that are looking good right here as they're roaming throughout, trying to find opportunity. Tree and Protector, does he ever get? Is it pretty much going to be Ags, you think, or what about like a Blink Dagger for the Overgrowth initiation?
There's a couple of different builds on Tree. Again, he's not super common in the pro scene, so it's not like we have a ton of info to compare. Ags, especially in a game like this, I think is going to be really important when you've got the threat of a relocate, when you've got a Sand King blinking and crawling around. You want to have as much vision as possible. So I'm thinking Ags is eventually a play here, but he does now just pick up a... he's thinking about saving up and maybe picking up a Blink. It's great if he's kind of that, go in, leech seed, get the best overgrowth possible kind of tree, but he's really just been sitting nature's guys and crawling around, so not quite sure it's going to be the highest priority. I think Ags is the way to go, but of course anything can happen. RMN, keeping vision up bottom, towards mid. We've got some push in. Sand King here, again, just picked up his Ags in that last fight. He's now moved his Windlace over, so maybe thinking about going ahead and grabbing a Yules at some point pretty soon, and that's going to be a really great initiating Sand King.
Wait, you say Sand King picked up an Ags? Blink Dagger. Okay, that's okay. I had to think about that for a second.
Did I misspeak?
I think you did say Ags.
All right,
I really do double take.
That's not good. I was like hovering over the Blink Dagger, being like, yeah, there's his Ags, don't you see?
Kind of works similar, I guess. The long range Burrow Strike. That would be
a pretty early Ags timing.
That would be so. No, okay. Has the Blink Dagger though? Yeah, that's very good. And there's that the makings of the Yules that you're getting at. Basher finished on.
Oh, Wispy.
Assassin. You going bottom? Oh yeah, they're in trouble actually.
He goes in, he's able to get the tether off to a creep just to move him into the woods, and I was going to try to go for the TP. Can they actually connect in time? No. Sneaky jukes right there. Thankfully the creep wave wasn't aggroed on him, otherwise that would have been very different.
Oh, middle lane. Warlock gets caught meanwhile. Sand King, but there's the rappel put out. Here comes the Warlock golem. All of a sudden Sand King, the one that has to run a half-life, as the rest of them, you see, Tiny and Wisp are doing that, but they do get away, so that's a Warlock ultimate used, not getting anything out of it in terms of kills at least. So pretty big cooldown.
It's a really peculiar place to drop that. Again, Warlock, still no points in upheaval, so when you drop the Golem, you got to make sure you get something done. Usually if it's dropped, they can kind of drop it, midway up that bot lane and then just send it up to the tier 2 to push, but he's kind of just walking around trying to clear creep waves right now, and it's not a whole lot of value for the cooldown.
Yeah. And it's actually going to be killed right here to the Sand King, but it's bait. There's the value. He baited the Sand King. Who wanted that
may or may not have been Sand King just making a large blunder.
Yeah, we'll call it bait. So well played by the Warlock there. No. Yeah, Sand King, a little bit of a misstep for sure, and he gives a free kill to the PA as a result. Not what you want to be doing. if you're Empire here. Yeah, look at that PA, though. Got the Basher now, as we just mentioned, that with the Death Slider. He is hitting hard
Dire's middle tower
at this
is
point of the
under
game.
attack.
Now with the enhanced damage of Vengeful Spirit when he happens to be nearby, especially. Pretty ridiculous
Radiant's bottom
when it comes to
tower
that
is under
combo.
attack.
So a lot of avoiding coming on from Empire here. It seems like, I guess, playing the game have really just wanted to get more farm on Juggernaut, and of course trying to
Radiant's
find
top tower
picks
is
for
under
the
attack.
Tiny here, but haven't necessarily been getting it. The Wave of Terror coming out, they're scouting. They know there's somewhere down here.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Oh,
under
PA
attack.
definitely does. He goes right in, and he 3 shots
Oh.
to whiff. Down goes the Rubik. Oh, boy. That's
Yeah, that's something F5 really got to avoid here.
Empire, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at another screen where F5 was on the Dire side. This is very confusing. Anyway, yeah, that's something Empire got to avoid because, again, they're trying to take this late. They're trying to minimize their loss in the early game. Now, up top, Aloha Dance
Yep.
going to be going in. They do have the roots. In fact, they might be able to finish this one off. Nice little work there from BZZ. So, again, Empire don't have to be pushed in right now. They don't have to be playing as aggressively as on the Radiant side of the map as they are. They've got room to sit back and relax, and that Jug Death is huge there. Not only is it a pretty decent bounty, it's also just he's off the map for a minute, not farming, not finishing off his next items.
Yeah, that was just simply them walking it up. Nature's guys coming out from Dream Protector, and then they got the jump needed, the overgrowth to stop the TP, and no chance really for Juggernaut at that point. So all of a sudden, 3 kills happening for F5, and obviously the net worth kind of going back up in their favor, and feeling pretty good about the circumstances. But Tiny, level 11 now, he does have the Echo Saber, has the point booster here, so I would assume going to be seeing an Ags on him. I know that tends to be a popular item choice. It's that big tree of his. Oh, they
All right,
try to
so-
catch the tree in.
Yeah, they got Dust here. That's a very peculiar place from Armen to be. They're going to be rotating around the rest of their tools. They've got that Burrow Strike in. Looks like an easy kill. Oh, God, no. Illidan coming in, charging through. Got that Repel. Repel can't last forever, though. Now she's going to get mech'd up and just back off. Nice little ult there from the Treant Protector. Not going to yield anything. But, well, just keeping safe and Radiant. Pushing in pretty deeply to Dire's territory and don't actually get punished for that.
Yeah, the living armor once again coming into play, and the swap almost setting up the turn kill, but at least doing a good job keeping his team in the live. Oh, Treant, he's in here. He gets dusted yet again, but I don't know if we're going to be able to chase. Maybe a Blink Dagger. Is Tiny going to risk it? I mean, he just doesn't know exactly where the other team's at, so he chooses it's best not
Radiant's
to.
middle tower is under
And
attack.
Treant will just walk it off. So there's the bottom tower kill. That's the secondary. That's the 5th tower kill. The 6th one being at the top lane there, still up. Good to go, but nice job by Treant, keeping them distracted at the very least. And now middle lane. Oh, what was that about? Omnislash bouncing around, actually. But Phantom Assassin. No, that wasn't Omnislash. That was something else. He's putting in the auto attacks. That's simply that, the illusions.
Yeah, that was just the sound of Manta doing its
Yeah.
work there with that mana burn sound from the diffusal. Now stun up onto the Tiny here. There's no Wisp. That ambulance is no longer an issue. There we go. There's the Omni Slash debuted, and they're looking for more now. Illidan chasing everyone down, maybe looking for an easy kill on Maposhka. He's going to go ahead, hop into the Ghost form, and they don't have anything that can cut through that as Ven doesn't have enough mana for her stun. And now Aloha Dance going to be one of the lone survivors still running away from this fight, and will get out safely with those phase boots. But at this point, Empire, they're going in. They got the objective they wanted. They took out mid-tower. And they got greedy. They wanted more. They wanted a fight. When heroes like your Tiny don't have your Ags yet, just wait around for this next set of items, and it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're overstepping their boundaries right here and really trying to force things that just aren't there. And all of a sudden, I mean, F5 is just pulling further and further ahead now. And this PA, again, it goes back to he's hitting really hard. He has the Abyssal Blade coming as well. Now you see the Vitality Booster on and the recipe in that stash. So that's going to be happening here in the near future. And you talk about hitting hard, and obviously extra lockdown on top of that. They're going to get the last tower kill.
Dire's
Roshan,
top tower is
not
under
up just yet, but you got to figure that's going to be the next key here for this Radiant side to actually kind of get the Roshan kill and then work their way into the base from there. So still keeping an eye on that timer there. You mentioned the 38-minute mark is kind of what Empire's looking to get to, and still be in a good spot, so we'll see that kind of keeps up here or not. But I mean, Juggernaut, another 1,500 gold saved up, so he's working on getting bigger and better. But yeah, the axe is kind of the key item, it sounds like you're getting at. And Ghost Scepter on a Wisp, not bad to have either.
Radiant's
Guess it's a
bottom
physical
tower
heavy team
is
here
under attack.
of the Radiant side. Oh, bottom.
Oh,
bounty
yeah,
room.
BZZ looking for a wrap in here. Has that repel. Is able to get the dagger off. That's... Rubik is dead by a lot. That's not fun.
No, that just shouldn't be able to happen. That's just ridiculous. He just throws a dagger and one-shots him. That's absurd.
Yep.
Does Phantom Assassin need nerfs, you think?
No, I think that's super balanced.
Okay.
No, I mean, we all know the struggle of being that squishy position 5, and just there's nothing you can do. He wasn't even particularly out of position. Just that one dagger from PA really messes him up, so you just got to hope that doesn't happen before really critical junctions and team fights. Now, we talked about our Treants build. He goes back for the Midas, which means next up is going to be that Ags. He could go for a Blink, but usually you skip over the Midas if you're going to go with that much of a team fighty item. So he's all about trying to take this late. We got an Omni Slash bouncing around, but hello, Repel. That's not going to do a whole lot. The roots from the tree come in, and there's going to be a stun onto our Juggernaut, but now he's spinning around again. The Stolen Guardian Angel is doing so much work. The Dire barely taking any damage. The Rock now dropped from the Warlock. They're looking to go back on Aloha Dance. He's got that healing ward up, and he should be able to escape in time. No one else really has that gap closed. So now Radiant, they've got a Warlock up. They've got everyone healthy. They've got pretty much full mana on all their heroes, and they're going to try for tier 3s now with the Sand King dead and the Juggernaut out of commission.
So that started with Gostic whiffing his Burrow Strike, by the way. He tried to hit the Burrow Strike on Vengeful, and he completely missed it. He clicked the ground instead, and that's just what started the turnaround. I mean, if he lands that stun, I think Vengeful actually gets locked down to a point where they may kill her, and maybe a different story. So that's pretty crucial he missed that. He does not have a buyback. Here's that tier 3 push as you're talking about. There's a stun initiation. Jump in from Aloha. Just going to throw out the spin, though, as he walks backwards now. But this tower, it's definitely going to fall. You got the rinse and repeat here. Tiny ready to go back in just a second if necessary, but I don't know if they want him. And Sand King is up in a second. He does have Epicenter still. He is going to be porting close enough as well, so we're going to be seeing something right here. The Epicenter being channeled in the background. They're going to make a play right here. He jumps in. They get the stun and a Phantom Assassin, but he's still Half-Life. Good to go. The Tether up on a Tiny trying to chase them back. Nobody dead just yet, though, as there's a wave of tear spam coming out from Vengeful in the background. The swap meanwhile swapping in Tiny, and Tiny will go down. Finally, kills happening. Tiny buys back immediately, but him and his teammate falling. And the ranged Rax, it's left alive for the time being, but it's going to die here. And mission accomplished for F5. Aloha Dance, saying aloha, but not going in further.
Something to note there, our men on the Treant Protector played that fight almost just beautifully. Like, it was almost the best tree fight I could imagine. He was teasing out his ult the entire time. He had full mana. He was dropping heals, but he didn't actually use his ult. He held on to it. He could have easily been so trigger happy. You know, here we are going to have an Omni Slash going around. The heal should be enough to mitigate the damage with the Radiant. They are going to pop out that Diffusal onto the Vengeful Spirit. She's going to get lifted up, tossed up. She doesn't even get a chance to hit the ground as the blink forward from the Juggernaut goes in. They want to get this Burrow Strike off. They are able to connect it onto the Omni Knight, so he can't get home. And this is Dire asserting their dominance over their territory. They lost a full lane of Rax, but with the Tiny, with the Juggernaut, it really shouldn't slow them down.
I think it's still a Roshan here as well. That's actually not too shabby for Empire, considering the situation coming out. But you know, overall, I mean, F5 fairly pleased, I'm sure, with the mission accomplished once again there in the middle lane. But yeah, that was interesting to not see the Overgrowth used that whole time by a Treant Protector. It kind of makes you wonder, like, I mean, was that the best, though? Like, should he have used it? I guess if you just don't have the opportunity, then you don't want to force it out. And he eventually used it later on, but only to no avail, really. So, but I guess just simply didn't get the chance to. But it's going to be an Aegis now, as mentioned. On to Juggernaut, unless they get here in time, which I don't think they are. I mean, Tree doesn't have a Blink Jack or anything like that, so he's not jumping in. There's a Haste Rune, though. But Sand King sitting on the uphill. He's waiting for somebody to poke out. That will be the Warlock first. There's the kill. It's going to go in. He sure is. There comes the Golem. Puts the Shared Fate out. The Fatal Bonds even. But they get the quick kill onto the Rubik. Does PA.
Oh, there we go. Nice little Root Prod coming in. Nice little Ghost Scepter coming in onto the Sand King. But here we go. It's looking like it's all over here. They easily clean up the Tiny. Tiny's coming back, and they've got that channeled up ulti from the Sand King to try to zone him, but he's a little bit preoccupied in the back lines. Meanwhile, Tiny just going to get completely finished off as Sand King bails out, and they've got no relocate to get them out of danger here, so it's split up and look for clues time as Ghostic just going to be scurrying around, realizing once again, may not have had the most impactful epicenter, but of course staying by the Tiny was almost certain death as well.
Yeah, that Overgrowth, that was a prime Overgrowth right there from Treant Protector, no doubt. That was beautiful, and the lockdown was real, so
a little bit of misplay here from this Warlock. He's dead, but can still micro his Golems just to pick up the small camp farm, so not the most efficient play from him.
Oh, what? Yeah, there's two of them. Yeah, he's got the Axe there, so just chilling. And they'll eventually despawn, but
dude, that's Golem retirement. They did their job. They get some time off.
yeah, I guess, go back to the fields, have a good time before coming back here. So, but the Rax is going to fall here at the bottom lane. And I think F5 now is just in total control. I mean, it ain't over yet, but now they got a BKB picked up on the PA. Defusal now on Vengeful, actually. Going to be happening as well, so get some nice purge presence themselves, as well as just what else it brings, just the overall damage.
Yeah, go ahead, take a look at the net worth chart. You can really see the last couple of fights have just exponentially launched things into F5's favor. And Empire, again, with that late game lineup, they've got the potential to come back for this. Juggernaut can hold high ground pretty effectively, but it's more just about getting the space they need to keep farming up. And the Dire territory is just rapidly getting shrunk in.
Rotating towards the top lane up here. See Pink's coming out. They know Tiny's up here. The Wisp obviously nearby. Probably figure that. They are going to be spotted by the ward coming up, but can they actually catch the Wave of Terror? Oh, yeah, not going to see him necessarily. So they're going to instead just front the creep wave and figuring maybe they just TP'd out. Or they're already gone. Port's coming on up here. Oh, that's just Wisp. Never mind. He's just getting back to the tower. But we got the rest of them in the middle here, just cleaning out the creep wave. Pushing it back. Well, F5, though, obviously the top is what's important. That's the last set of racks remaining. And now Juggernaut leading the way. He's got that Blink Dagger. He's going to be spotted. The Dagger comes out with a spin immediately. And he'll Blink Dagger away. Speaking of that, Rubik's like, you know, I've seen this before. He'll just die yet again.
Rubik, not feeling too hot. He's got a total of 1,000 net worth after that buyback. He is intent here. The fact that Rubik buys back already having no money means this is Dire's final hold. They're kind of thinking about it. Of course, they've got that Tiny that can blink in from the back, avalanche toss survivors if they're getting low. BKB's coming in the swap, initiates onto the Juggernaut. If they lock him down here, it's all over. He's going to get stunned up. He's trying to spin away. The Golems kill him off. He's got buyback, and he's going to have to spend it right now. The stolen Golems come in. Rubik able to do some work there, but of course, he gets immediately picked off by PA's Blade, and they're moving in. G trying his best to participate. Aloha Dance is back. Remember, this could be a dieback, and this will most likely be at GG as he hits the deck. Wisp just kind of sit there and take it. Has a buyback, but there's nothing the little star can do. It's all over here. F5 move forward in Empire. It's time to say goodbye to them.
Oh no, Empire falling short there. Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, overall today, you have both these teams in, especially obviously throughout the series as well. Honestly, F5 did overall looked better throughout the day, so it doesn't really surprise me that they are the ones that are the victors in the end. But had at least a good series out of it. That obviously went the distance right there. So that was fun to see, though. The little bit, somewhat of a little more of a unique lineup coming out from Fantastic Five. Not only the Treant Protector, but again the Carry Vengeful that worked out in their favor, and its overall Team Empire just could not handle it. Could not handle it. So it was fun seeing the Treant Protector. He did eventually get the axe. I didn't even notice that until the end there. Didn't really get to see him play though. But all right, that means they're going to the finals.
Woo!
They play the winner of the Friends versus Flipside series. They were still in the first game, I'm pretty sure, when we were like already done with game 2. So their series is taking a little bit longer. I'm not even sure who won that first game over there, actually.
I have the least amount of blues. I have not kept up with any of the matches here.
Is there like an official hub somewhere for this, or is this just like?
I mean,
because I've been looking
kind of
at
an open wound. Beyond the Summit's doing a full hub, but I'm not invited. None of the Moonduck people are, so they're doing coverage. Moonduck is going to be having our channel up. We'll definitely be doing coverage of some sort if you want to check that out. But BTS is going to have casters kind of jumping around from game to game. And, of course, once the regionals actually start, there will be in-game coverage, like through Dota TV, with Tier 1 casters for every single game.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I've just been using Liquipedia here, and there's no updates on it just yet for these semifinal matches. So, oh, it is 1-0 Friends. There we go. There is an update. Okay, cool. So 1-0 Friends here, and they're in Game 2 currently.